How the hell are you going to be Vietnamese American and think to yourself for even 1 second that Asians are not going to be caught up in all of this? Someone just told me that that was a conversation that they just had with another Vietnamese American, and I will not stand by that ignorance. First of all, it's insane to me that you have to feel directly affected in order to feel empathy for others. Over Memorial Day weekend, 160 community members were deported on a single flight to Laos and Vietnam. ICE is already present in Orange County, Little Saigon. To those who didn't care before, do you now? Do you understand now? They're in our backyard. It makes me indescribably angry, and I am not good with words. To know that Vietnamese Americans don't care about what's happening when our own community came here only 2 generations ago. I wish I could articulate my words better, but it's just time for people to wake the hell up and stop being ignorant.
Okay, you guys know me. I'm typically not an identity politics type of person, but tell me why I am so proud that I'm seeing more and more Asians speaking up. They're popping up on my For You page, and I'm following every single one of you guys because I want to support you. But I love seeing how they are speaking out against the people that are claiming that Asians won't go out and protest. I've even seen videos claiming that we call ourselves model minorities. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't had a single Asian person that I'm familiar with, hang out with, ever call ourselves model minorities. People that are typically racist and hateful are the ones that call Asians that. And the reason why maybe we're labeled that type of style, and I'm not going to speak for all Asians, but I can tell you how I was raised in an Asian household. My parents taught me to respect authority, respect law, respect your elders, respect people that are trying to teach you something. I don't know, we were just heavily taught to respect. And we were also taught to work your ass off and never expect anything to be given to you. So don't complain about what you're not willing to work for. So when you see all of this bullshit going on, the reason why most of the time Asians stay quiet is because we just usually mind our own business and we do our thing. Because getting involved typically does not change our outcome. It doesn't stop us from hustling and grinding it out. And a lot of times we just don't want the trouble. We mind our business, we go to work, we do our thing, we hang out with our families, we support our elders, and for the most part, we follow the law. I'm not saying there aren't crooked Asians in this world. I'm not saying there aren't Asians that hate their family. And I'm not saying there isn't disrespectful Asians. I'm just saying from a cultural standpoint, from my experience growing up in an Asian household, that's just what was expected from our parents. Mind your business, go to work, get good grades, get a good job, work really hard, buy a home, and then retire your elders.
This is true. Asian Americans were all around on this social media just saying that they can't be deported, and even claiming their citizenship, thinking that they were safe. And you know, if you are in a comfort zone, you feel like you don't even want to watch what is happening outside, or you don't want to move. But today they are regretting their ignorance. Like, why didn't we join other communities by the time they were protesting out here for their rights? Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I always appreciate your support. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. Kindly consider subscribing, and that's what we're going to see on today's video. Let's watch these clips that I've gathered for you guys. A credit belongs to the original creators that we're going to see on our screens. I'll be back with more commentary, and drop your opinions in the comments. Welcome.
Chinese American support Trump. All right. So the reason is the Democrat administration, Biden administration, lead this country towards socialism and eventually towards communist dictatorship. We came from China. We know this is the way. This is not like people here don't understand what is a communist is. We know communist is. What communist is. That's why we support Trump.
A lot of Asian Americans vote red, specifically Vietnamese Americans. And a lot of Vietnamese people know this because there's a whole thing for Viets for Trump or whatever, which for one is already crazy. But I always thought it was the older generation of Vietnamese Americans who came during the war or very closely after the Vietnam War. But actually it affects, our generation, my generation. So whether that's second generation Vietnamese Americans or third generation Vietnamese Americans, it's just crazy. Especially considering the fact that during the Vietnam War, many Vietnamese Americans came to America to escape communism and are now supporting dictatorship. And many of those same Vietnamese Americans came here through green cards and married into being able to be here. Mind you, almost every Vietnamese person who left Vietnam during that time left and came here illegally. It was literally illegal to escape to America. Y'all must forgot that Vietnamese people didn't just spawn here.
Listen, there are a lot of Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese, even more Asian communities that live in the United States of America illegally. Do we agree on this? Actually, there is a place in the United States called Chinatown. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Chinatowns, including in LA, SF, and Philadelphia, have seen ICE activity and raids. In Philadelphia, Chinatown, for example, community members reported being targeted. In Los Angeles, community groups are preparing by offering Know Your Rights, training in multiple Asian languages, hosting outreach events, and cautioning people to limit public exposure due to fear of ICE presence. And listen to these voices from the community. Not sure if any other Chinatowns have been affected, but Philadelphia Chinatown is getting hit with ICE raids. Stay safe out there, guys. Another one said, at religious centers and job sites, concern is just what we hear. Brown-looking people are perceived as permanent foreigners, and they too many be wrapped up in a raid. Yes, undocumented Asian immigrants are now facing pressure from Trump's deportation policies, and community fear is widespread. But let's not forget about how they felt they were white. Let me tell you about this, guys. This government doesn't care if you are a person of color, if you are legal, if you are holding your green card or wherever. What they want is just to let you out of this country. They don't care if you have been supporting this slogan of making America great again. You know what I mean? That you made him win for this position, and now you are being affected by what you have done. You voted for mass deportations, thinking that you are white, thinking that you are not immigrants or criminals. But today, the guy is showing you the reality. And everyone was like, do we really have Asian community in this country? We don't see them out here protesting. But tell me, guys, by that time that you saw these Latinos, Cubans, and more people who were protesting and even crying for help, asking for help because of these mass deportations, where were you? Why were you hiding yourselves, thinking that you are safe, like you don't want even to show up or show any sympathy? But today, you need that sympathy. If you voted for these mass deportations, then no sympathy for you, because we believe that you knew what you were doing, or you know what you were voting for. Tell us in the comments, Asian Americans who are now pressured because of these ICE raids, how do you feel? After ignoring other tears, after feeling that, yes, I am Korean, I have that white skin, I think I'm safe, I'm not going anywhere, these mass deportations, like I have to do nothing with them, but you lied to yourselves. Guys, tell me, after seeing what is happening in this community, I was shocked. I was like, even them, are they really being deported or being detained? Oh my God. Look at this.
Her lawyer's in the bathroom. That's why they're taking her now. You waited until her lawyer leaves. Seriously, her lawyer's in the bathroom. I'm recording this. Her lawyer's in the bathroom. Hey, Kate, they're taking your client. Kate, they're taking your client. She's fainting, Kate. She's a female. Yes, you're allowed to go in the bathroom. Dude, she's fainting on...
What's your name, sir? What's your name? Say your name. Are you from here? Oh my God, they're just taking this man, dude.
I say yeah.
Dude, you guys. This is so scary, you guys. Poor man, dude. Like so many people.
Why Chinese Americans support Trump? All right. So the reason is the Democrat administration, Biden administration, lead this country towards socialism. and eventually were towards communist dictatorship.
Yeah, it shows that they know what they were doing. So I don't feel any sympathy or anything that can make you survive from these ICE or mass deportations. You guys face what you have voted for. Let me know if you feel any sympathy for this community. Let's catch up in the next. Bye.